Robo-Pal, don't you think it's hard to see with that mask on? What's this? Dear Mrs. Puff and Robo-Pal, what was the Ku Klux Klan? From Tim. Well, the Ku Klux Klan was an organization formed to protest the reconstruction of the United States after the Civil War. It started out as a social club made up of former Confederate soldiers, formed in the winter of 1865. The organization's first Grand Wizard, as the highest leader of the organization was called, was General Nathan Bedford Forrest. The Ku Klux Klan progressed to become a massive terrorist group performing various hate crimes towards African Americans and those who showed sympathy towards them. Members of the Ku Klux Klan were recognizable from the white sheets they wore over their bodies and the triangular white mask with eye holes they wore on their heads. They wore this to show their membership to the KKK, to disguise themselves from officials, and to frighten those they pursued. This evil organization performed many treacherous acts, including burning down churches, homes, and schools, murdering people, and torturing people in many ways. Members of the Ku Klux Klan publicly whipped a man for reading a book and even removed the intestines of a man in front of his family. What drove the Ku Klux Klan to do this? The KKK was made of Southern white Democrats who opposed Reconstruction from the Civil War. These people thought that whites were the superior race and that blacks were unworthy of equal treatment. They wanted to keep the white people in control by performing the various hate crimes that they did. When would the Ku Klux Klan reign of terror ever end? Finally, Congress stepped up to help. Congress passed the Enforcement Acts between 1870 and 1871. The Enforcement Acts protected various rights of African American citizens, including the right to vote, to hold office, to serve on juries, and to receive equal protection under the law. If this was not followed, the federal government could step in and interfere. After the Enforcement Acts were passed, 16 African Americans held positions in Congress and hundreds in local offices. The act required for fines to be paid for each black citizen denied the right to vote, who was eligible, and fines for discriminatory taxes. However, poll taxes were not illegal, which opened the door to the discriminatory Jim Crow laws in the future. The Enforcement Acts were aimed directly at the KKK, and it worked. The KKK slowly faded out once the acts were passed. However, it did not stay like this for long. Both the KKK and white supremacy infected the nation once again when the KKK was reformed in 1915. But this time, it was not only discriminatory towards African Americans, but anyone of a different race, religion, or heritage. By the mid-1920s, the KKK had a staggering 2 million members. The KKK still exists today with about 6,000 members. Robo-Pal, are you sure you want to keep that mask on? I wonder, how did the KKK ever go around wearing sheets over their faces?